What's up, y'all? It's Talib Jasir here, founder of the Afros Audio Podcast Festival. Thank you for joining. What's going on? It's great to wait. You doing Breakbred? Just Kevy, what's going on? Thank you for joining. We really appreciate you. We're going to give the folks who are joining today, Latrice, Blake, and Afrika, opportunity to jump in here. All right, here we go. Our first request. Thank you. Comes Latrice. But yeah, I hope everybody's Wednesday is going well. And let's see. Yeah, I hope everybody's Wednesday is going well. And again, thank you for joining us. Bring y'all in. Hopefully it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Yes.
Yay.
Yay. Yay. All right. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Here. Happy to be here.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
This is my first time doing an IG live, so.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Hopefully. Oh,
Hey.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm just putting my earring in. I'm going to a little event tonight after we finish this. And I'm super excited about it. You know the poet Sonny Patterson?
Do not.
No.
Well, she is a New Orleans original and a global superstar. And she's had a massive impact on my life. And they're having an all-white little party tonight. And so I'm going to that and hope that I get to smell her breath or something.
That's what's up. Well, I'm happy for you. You just want to smell anybody's breath.
Right.
Not everybody.
That's good.
Let's be clear. It ain't but a handful of folks. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bet.
Wagwan Q.
What's up?
Hey, Blake.
Hey,
What's
Blake.
up, y'all? What's happening?
How you doing?
Oh my God. I am loving this four-way thing. This is awesome.
This is pretty dope. For
yeah,
sure.
This is my first time doing it with 4 people. This is lit.
Yeah.
Me too. Look, Blake, that's what she said.
I'm glad you said it, because I can't. But that was funny. What's up, Quincy, and everyone else that's joining us? Like I said, just grateful to be here. Grateful to share space with you guys once again, because you guys killed it at the conference. And yeah, that's right. I was with y'all there too.
You
my bad.
You were actually in attendance.
Yeah, I was there too. That's my bad. But yeah, we killed it, and it was just a dope experience. So, I know we all have some things to say here, and I want you to first of all introduce yourselves. I think we start there, and then we'll jump in. I'll ask some questions. Y'all can ask some questions and talk about it, and just kind of move the conversation forward. So once again, I appreciate everybody joining us today. And my name is Talib Jasir. I'm the founder of Afros Audio Podcast Festival, which we're in our 3rd year, and November 13th and 14th are the dates of this virtual festival. One more again, and then hopefully 2022 we're back in person. So Afrika, I see you next, so let's go for it.
Hello, my name is Afrika Hannibal. I'm the owner and founder of Breakbred Production. I own a podcast studio located in Brooklyn, New York at the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Dope, Latrice.
Hi, y'all. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards. I am the host of Unicorns Talk podcast. I'm the lead event consultant for Afros Audio. I used to say virtual, but then I thought about it and I was like, events sound more important. So I'm going to say event. Because I was saying virtual, but Talib was saying event, and I was like, events sound like something, a little razzle-dazzle. And I'm also a producer with the Vanguard Podcast Network. And I have a lot of titles. I'm also a project manager for ABF Creative. So I'm super excited to be here.
Yay. What's up, Blake?
Dope, dope, dope. What's happening, y'all? My name is Blake. I'm the host of Diary of a Mad Black Man. I am also the CEO and founder of the Black Podcast Club, a social networking club for Black podcasters and creatives. I am a Black man healing in America, and I am killing that shit because I have grown a lot. You guys helped me in the moments through last week to realize my healing journey and how much I've grown. So that's me. Happy to be here, share space, and be a part of the Afros Audio team as well.
Word, word. Thank you, thank you. So first of all, y'all are all some lucky folks. Like, y'all was winning. Hopefully Afrika comes back. But y'all was winning everything they had. Y'all was meeting everybody you wanted to meet. So
yes.
Yeah,
Listen, last week was, yeah, like, I mean, it was Blake and I feel like Blake and I spent the most time, like, just in awe of the experience. Like, Blake came up to my room, and we was sitting in the room, and we was like, nigga, this just happened, you know? And like, you'll never believe who I just talked to, or, man, let me tell you about this conversation I just had. This dude told me X, Y, and Z. And it was like, the experience was so grand. It was so much to take in all at one time. And not just from the standpoint of, like, things to see and booths to go to and, like, events and stuff like that, but just, I feel like more so in connection and, like, the experience of it all. I feel like, you know, a lot of these people, there's a lot of Black creatives and people in the podcasting space that I've been working with for the last year and a half, 2 years, virtually, and never met, including everybody on this screen right now. Believe it or not, y'all, Podcast Movement was the first time that Talib and I met face to face. And it was the first time that Blake and I met face to face, and the same time that Afrika and I met face to face. And so it was just the excitement of seeing y'all, but then also seeing, like, Tiffany Asherton and Ayana, and, you know, like, just seeing all of these people, Chris, and all of these people that we've been collaborating with and building with and growing with. And for me, never having met them face to face. So I think that part for me, that was the biggest win for me, because it's always nice to know that people showing up for real in these virtual spaces, because, you know, that could have went the other way real quick. And, you know, I was gonna say it did in one case, but really it didn't, because I already knew what that was before we got out there. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. Yeah. So hopefully, who are you most surprised to meet, and what was it like meeting them? That's a question from It's the Great Wait. So I'll let Blake take that question.
What was the question? Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
It was in the question. Who were you most surprised to meet, and what was it like meeting them?
I know the answer to that one.
Look, I think we all know. If you follow me on the gram, you already know the answer to that question for me, yo. Like, so when I met Charlamagne, first of all, I fanned the fuck out the first time. I was like I was stumbling over my words. I was shaking. I got nervous, and I had never experienced that. But truth be told, it was because of how much I admire Charlamagne's work. Especially in recent years when he's really started to talk about mental health. I read his book, Shook Ones. I recently picked up his book, Black Privilege. And just to see him be so unapologetically him, like, even like just starting to read Black Privilege, it's one of the things that catapulted him or pushed him down the journey he's on, is he just said, I'm going to live my truth, speak my truth, and be as I am, and I'm not going to apologize for it. So when I met this man, I was just like, I kind of came in with this idea, like, this is Charlamagne, the God, you know, Breakfast Club, you know, everybody knows these. And he was just like, yo, what's good, bro? How you feeling? It was just like, I'm walking up to, like, one of y'all. Like, he was
very relatable. Yeah,
very
like,
relatable, very humble, authentic. I didn't feel like after, like, the second time I met him, we was actually standing there having a conversation. I didn't feel like I was talking to some big name celebrity. I felt like I was talking to another brother, just like me, another Black creative that's out here trying to network too. So it's like, yo, that was a powerful moment to meet him, and to also to have him tell me, like, yo, I want to work. I want to work with all y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The information he gave, and I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping for an autograph and a picture, but everything else, that was a bonus.
And you got that too. And
I got that too. So I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted and some. So that was dope.
Word up, word up. So Afrika, the question was, who were you most excited to meet there? And what was the other? And what was it like meeting them? So Blake shared his Charlemagne story.
Right.
Of course.
For me, I think the most exciting person to meet was Twyla, because I'd actually been stalking her on LinkedIn for a bit, and I had reached out a couple of times. She had connected me with her assistant, and it was kind of feel like, you know, kind of like the brush off a little bit, not purposely, but just super busy.
Mm-hmm.
So to actually meet her person and see how down to earth she was, how helpful she was, and just open to share how we can all come together and build and grow as Black podcasters, that was super great for me.
Word. Latrice?
Honestly, I was most excited to meet you, Talib.
I was gonna say, if she don't say me.
Yeah. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but I mean, for real, like I was the most excited to meet you because, you know, we are partners in this thing. Like we are working together to build Afros and Audio, and you and Erica, your wife Erica, shout out sis, I see you in the comments, girl. Y'all, we family now. You know what I'm saying? Like family. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the biggest thing for me, was like meeting you, meeting Erica, and knowing that connection is real, knowing that it was like there was no, like we did a quick hug, like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. But then it was like we just fell right into how we normally interact with each other when it comes to like networking and building a business, and, you know, tag teaming people when we're giving our pitches, and just seeing us and like the way that we work together to really, you know, get Afros and Audio in front of people who have the power to really support us financially, but and otherwise, you know, and to really introduce us, introduce ourselves, and introduce the whole concept or the idea of Afros and Audio to I think between the two of us, we met every single Negro at the event. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't even have to necessarily be full Negro. They ain't had to be 100% Negro. We was making sure that we invited them to the community, and that we let them know that this community exists, if that's something that you're looking for, you know. And so that felt really, really good. And, you know, I was most excited about that. But then again, also just like meeting Blake, because, you know, I love me some Blake, that's my boo or whatever, and meeting Afrika, and I have so much respect for Afrika. So really, like, meeting y'all was the highlight of my experience. Yeah,
I appreciate that. And I feel the same, obviously. Me and Afrika, we've been rocking for a minute, and so we know each other off beforehand, and but it was great seeing you again. And Afrika, like I said, like we normally are in the space kind of talking business when we're together.
Right.
So it was great to be able to just kind of hang out with you and you know, joke and have fun, and just be in a different space, you know, to get to know each other. So I thought that was really dope. But Latrice, Blake, same for me. Super important that we connected in this way, and like you said, Latrice, the fact that we were all the same. Did nobody change on nobody, you know. It was all love, it was all good, and we were all there for a common goal, which was to create experiences for ourselves, create experience with each other, but more importantly, let people know we ain't come to play no games with building the table, right? And having that conversation. There's a question here. Grateful for you all sharing your lived experience and expertise. My question is, how are you making sure that what you are building isn't upholding the ideas of white body supremacy culture? Thank you. Oh, that's a great question. So I can respond to that. So my awareness of what I'm growing is based off of my own lived experience and my awareness of what I'm expecting to do here. So obviously we're in a capitalistic society, right? So inside of that, we're doing things that match or meet that way of life. However, there's an understanding here that we get to do group economics. We get to stop looking outside of ourselves. The reason for, I'm sorry guys, I have a cough drop. The reason why Afros and Audio exists is so that we can really support and encourage and also empower one another, that we don't have to go outside of ourselves to create opportunities. We don't have to go outside of ourselves to understand that we actually have resources amongst ourselves. We actually have the genius and innovation amongst ourselves. And so how do we disconnect from an industry while still being inside of it, but doing it different than any other industry has looked so far, where we're kind of going along to get along, we're going with the status quo. This time it's like, no, let's put a whole brake system on that, and let's figure out how we can be a part of an industry that we absolutely get to exist in. We don't have to not exist inside of it just because it was created by the folks that don't look like us, or folks who created it without us in mind. But what we do get to do is make sure that it looks the way we intend it to look. And the only reason why it won't is if we go along with what they say is how you do it, how it looks, how it's supposed to go down, who you got to talk to. When Afros and Audio Festival first started, they told me you can't do this without I was going to name some names, without the conglomerates backing. You can't do it without their funding. So I just said, watch me, because we can do this. We don't have to wait on that. Now, do we take money? Sure. We're trying to move this forward. But are we relying on that money? Well, if we don't get that money, do we not go? The answer is no. So I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in on that. And Matthew, I can't go forever on that conversation. But there's more to it. But absolutely, man, we making sure this looks different.
Yeah, I would just add that, one of the things that I think both of us were very intentional about, but I know, well, all of us really were very intentional about, but I really can only speak for myself right now, is making sure that no matter who I was talking to, even and especially if it was, somebody like, a non-Black person who's in a position of power, who has the ability to support us financially or to support us in any other kind of way and help us to build this and get this thing off the ground, I made it very clear to them what our goal was and what our mission is, and the fact that we are committed to Blackness and Black podcasters and Black audio professionals. And so I put that out there from the first conversation so that it's clear from this moment. If you decide to work with us, if you decide to support us, if you decide to move forward with us, you do so knowing and understanding that we Black as fuck, and we out here trying to do all kind of, real Black shit in a way that promotes our community, and we trying to make sure everybody gets paid as this happens, So like, I made it a point to put that out there from the very beginning, and also making sure that in my synopsis of what the organization is and what it is that we're trying to accomplish, also making sure that they connect to that message as well, and that they see themselves not necessarily as a part of the problem, but that they see themselves as being within that problem, within the scope of what is wrong with the industry. And, inviting them to help us create equity, and inviting them to be an ally and to be a part of, changing the face of this industry, to make sure that when we talk about inclusivity, that we're not just saying inclusivity, that we're actually putting action behind that. So just being upfront with that from the very beginning, it was important to me that we did that we laid that boundary from the very beginning. Don't come asking us to do no dumb shit. Don't come over here. Because we already told you what we about over here now.
Yeah,
so if you want to be an ally, then come on, be an ally. We're open to feedback, but we not. At the end of the day, we make the final decisions, and there's no wiggle room in that.
Word up, word up. So I'm curious. I mean, for me, being able to go to this larger event, you know, we do it big at Afros and Audio, and our festival is dope, and I love it. But to be able to go to a space where it was, I mean, I heard people doing interchangeably with the conference and a trade show, right? And so, so to see a true trade show and within the podcast industry like we did, to see the software, the equipment that's actually available now for podcasters to be able to automate and be more efficient and to just really set you up for success, I think was something that I wasn't even, that was my highlight, really, just to kind of go around and see, like, wow, there's all of this stuff available for podcasters, things that I was familiar with, things I had never seen in my life, and that this is one of the main reasons we're here is about sustainability in this industry and making sure that our creatives, our audio professionals are able to build sustainable podcasts. They had everything there that sustains a podcast. And so that was really good to know, to bear witness to and to bring back to our community. So what was something that you guys like kind of really gained from the conference that you didn't know or wasn't aware of before you got there? Anybody can jump in.
I'll go. I'll take this one on first. I think for me, just being at the conference and seeing all these different booths and all these businesses and organizations come together as one, it was like the first time that I've traveled or been somewhere and I didn't necessarily plan it myself. So it was like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? It also let me know that my ideas that I think are just super big and like out of this world are possible. Like when I think about the kind of money that was involved to put together Podcast Movement, when I think about the kind of just logistical and operational aspect to put together that 2-day event and what that could take and what it did take, lets me know that my ideas of seeing Afros and Audio bigger and better, 10 years down the line, seeing the Black Podcast Club brick and mortar here in Atlanta with the studio space and all the ideas I have for that, like, it helped me to realize, like, these dreams are not just dreams. These will become reality. And I think another thing that was super powerful for me to take away from the event was seeing all the Black people being like, where are the Black people at? I'm trying to work with y'all. I'm trying to see what you got on. I'm trying to work with you. This is what I got going on. He wasn't like, no, you know how they say Black folks be sometimes, but it was none of that. And I've never run into that so far. For the most part in the podcast space, that was very, very good just to see Black people like, yo, what's up, and be genuine and wanting to just learn about what you're doing and just being willing to just really connect and build, and people already hitting me up and stuff. So those are some of my biggest takeaways.
So, it kind of felt like a family reunion, you know? Yes, like everybody was so happy to see each other, and like it was just like, hey girl, we was on the stage and I was like, oh hey, I saw Quinn, I was excited about Quinn. I saw, I saw Tiffany and Ayana, I was excited about that. Like if I agree, Blake, like that community part of it, that was awesome to me. Like that was, it felt good. It felt good, and it felt like that's what it's supposed to be like. And I can't wait until Afros and Audio gets back to face, because that's, an intentional effort being made on the part of Afros and Audio to create that feeling every single year. And that's the vibe that Afros and Audio, that the festival has, even in the virtual space. That's the vibe that we have, because that's the vibe amongst the Black podcasting community, We just create a space to make that happen, but it's already happening naturally.
Yeah,
Right.
word up, word up. What about you, Afrika?
I was gonna say for me, I think what was eye-opening, I think for myself, I know as a Black creative, we tend to get into the mode of like, I gotta try to figure out how to do all this myself, build a website, you know, and there were a lot of tools there that made it easier to do a lot of the things that could take some of that stuff off of your plate.
Yeah.
So you had like PodPage, you had the PodPal crew, stuff that we typically take on. You know, we wear multiple hats as podcasters and business owners. So just actually having tools similar to any other business, whether you are an accountant or things like that, and have tools that you can actually use on a day-to-day to project manage and, you know, actually turn your podcast into a business, I think was great to see as something tangible.
Yeah.
Versus something like, you know, an idea like, well, how can I organize or how can I do this, and just be able to just focus on the brand that I'm building and have all these extra things to be there in assistance to me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can I just say, give a shout out to my husband here in the comments.
What's up? What's
Hey.
up? I see him. What's going on? I think everybody want to hear you say, "Hey, baby," because that's a New Orleans thing. So go on and get it out the way.
Well, when I'm talking to my husband, it sounds different.
All right.
You know, it sounds sweet. I'm like, "Hey, baby, that's my baby. Hey, baby, how you doing, baby?"
All right, didn't New Orleans one.
But you know,
It's like that's not the one we were here.
I know, but y'all know how I feel about that now. Don't do me now. We'll see. It might come out. We'll see.
All right. So, you know, I said on the stage and you know, I really meant that the panel, you guys being with me, was so intentional and really what I wanted and needed to be able to share space with the three of you. I'm like super proud of all of you, the things that you created, the things that you're building. Afrika, I mean, just being a Black woman-owned studio in Brooklyn, I think is like one of the most amazing feats in the entire world. And so I just love that about you, and I want to edify and honor that every time, you know, every chance I get. Because you, again, are possibility, you know, and you become a person that someone, another Black woman, another Black person, you know, in general, can say, oh, there's someone that looks like me that actually owns a studio. And that's powerful. So I really appreciate you, you know, saying yes and being willing to come out with us and represent in that way. You know, thank you for that.
I was honored to even be asked. So thank you.
Appreciate it. And Blake, you know, for being you're a younger man in this industry, building your own space. I really wanted you to come with us so that you could see your possibility, you know, and to see how powerful what you're creating really is. And that you get to, no matter where we think we are in our journeys, you get to be where everybody else is, you know, already, and not think that you got to wait and get prepared and do all these type of things, but just really jump in and experience yourself in that world and in those spaces like right now, because that in and of itself accelerates your process. You know, like you said, you know, just even thinking about what you can do. Being in that space and being able to be on that stage just says a lot, you know, for you. And I hope that you got that out of it, you know, for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So I'm super proud of you, man. I appreciate you joining. And Latrice, you know, this is what we do. You know, I love you down, and I appreciate, you know, you being there with me because, you know, I can handle it. But I handle it better when you with me. I agree. Yeah. And you know, you're so professional, you're so charismatic and awesome to talk to and engage with. So I really I couldn't have done it without you. I didn't want to be there without you. So I'm grateful that you jumped in as well. So Blake, you talked about this a little bit, but leaving there inspired, right? Leaving there inspired, leaving there with the ideas you came with, and walking out there like, oh, bet it's on now. You know what I'm saying? So I want all three of you, and I'll jump into what my thoughts afterwards. But how were you inspired, and how did it make you think differently about what you are creating and what you are building and just moving forward?
Man, that's a good question, Talib. I would say, I remember meeting the guys at PodPal and hearing like how they were working full-time jobs and having kids and stuff and trying to build what they're doing over there. It just reminded me that, one, like, my situation and my life circumstances are different and unique, and I now understand that it's probably for a reason, because I truly believe now that I have the space to really take this thing to another level. When I think about what I've been able to do with the Black Podcast Club over the past year, with like no real plans, just like how I did my podcast, it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna figure this shit out later. Now that like I really see myself putting together that 3, 5, 10-year plan for what this can become. And I know before I even really get to that point of the 3, 5, and 10-year plan that this shit about to happen.
Yeah, word.
Like it like my biggest takeaway was like knowing that, like, meeting someone like Charlamagne, who and Dolly Bishop, and even like Jill Scott and them, looking at them as like almost like up on a pedestal higher than me. But now I really see like y'all are really like my equal.
Yeah,
we really on the same pedestal. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that y'all was on the featured page and I was on this page this year. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that I truly have the power and the ability to manifest and to build this thing to be bigger, to provide opportunities for other people, other Black creatives. I've been reflecting a lot on my club members and like how they look at me and how I look at myself in the industry. But it's like I really see myself now being a community leader amongst Black podcasters and creatives, and just helping us all win, because y'all know me, I'm down to always share some knowledge, help somebody else learn, helping somebody else start their podcast, stay motivated and encouraged. And it's like now I have an extra boost of confidence to know that, yo, I'm about to do this shit, and this shit about to be dope as fuck. And like we said at the thing, I feel like a rapper in the 80s right now. You know what I'm saying? We just really getting started. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like it's been so much, and that's just because of the amount of work that we've had to put in so far. But I'm glad that I'm putting the work in here, because this is also a space where I can show up and I can be Blake. I ain't got to pretend. I ain't got to put on no professional voice and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can just show up and really be myself, and my work is appreciated. And I know I'm only going to get better with time the more I do this. So I'm just so inspired. I'm just ready to do it. I'm still taking it in. Like, I was just laying down today. I was like, you got to get up out this bed now, bro, because it's just a lot to take in.
Tell them about when you went to get your badge, and the little staff guy, tell you he listened to your show and everything.
Yo. So I'm walking, and he's like, and he didn't say like, hey, Blake, I know you. He was like, yo, Diary of a Mad Black Man. And I'm like, at first I kind of was like, you talking about me? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. Like, he was like, yeah, I listen to your podcast. I love what you do.
Oh, that's what's up.
And then it was just like a surreal moment. Like, this person didn't necessarily recognize me because of Blake, although he did. But the first thing was my podcast.
Yeah.
And to even be walking around the conference and people recognizing me for my podcast, it let me know that not only people are actually listening, like this isn't a game, like people really out here listening, but people also genuinely appreciate it. And I know that my work has value. If people appreciate it, that means it has value. That means I know that I could put more energy, more effort into it, and guess what's going to happen? The value is going to grow. My audience is going to get bigger. But it also lets me know that I'm making an impact, because the whole idea of my platform is talking about mental health, raising awareness, sharing my own personal story. Some of my podcast episodes are a little difficult to listen to, even for myself. But again, seeing people that appreciate it lets me know that being an advocate for mental health is definitely in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing, and just looking forward to, man, just being bigger and better in this space and growing. It was just like, I was like fanning out about myself. I'm like, am I like a mini celebrity in this thing? Like, what's going on? People don't recognize
Blake was like, girl, it's like, that dude just stopped me. He was like, Diary of a Mad Black Man. And I was like, me?
Nice.
Like, it was a beautiful moment to watch, you know, like it was a beautiful moment to watch, because I remember the first time I had that experience, and I remember what that felt like, to get that confirmation, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get that level of confirmation, like you said, not only that, you know, people are listening, but that people are connecting to what you're saying. Yeah. It feels like it's hard to even describe like what that feels like. So like, to watch somebody else like have that moment, that was very entertaining to me.
Dope,
and heartwarming too, but entertaining. I enjoyed that.
Nice. All right. So Afrika, what about you? How are you walking different? Anything changed for you coming out of there?
I mean, a lot has changed. Yeah. I mean, I feel like my creativity was dead, to be honest, prior to going. So just seeing other people, you know, we see ourselves in each other. So it's like healthy competition. I'm like, damn, they doing this, they're doing that. I started working on my podcast again. I was like, I got to get this back up and running. To Blake's point, you know, seeing people come up to you and recognize your podcast, like that's what I want. And I want to highlight other women, especially Black women who are making an impact within their respective industry. So just getting that back up and running, and just trying to get writing again. I want to start writing some audio drama. So focusing more on that and just getting more refined and organizing my day-to-day, making sure that I make time for that creativity, because I've been so like running with the business. To Blake's point, seeing people juggle all those different things, I'm like, I don't even have a family, so I'm like, what's my problem? Like, it's me and
I ain't got no kids. Like, what's your excuse?
I got whole kids and just have babies and you know, launching businesses and speaking on panels. I'm like, what's stopping me? So that was very inspiring.
That's awesome. Latrice?
I think it, you know, just a little bit of both of, you know, a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything that was already said. It was refreshing. It was very refreshing. And, you know, for the last 2 years or so, I just kind of been head down, working, you know, making it happen, figuring it out, pushing forward, you know, trying to get this thing off the ground, trying to figure out what my next move is, settling in, you know, because I had a career change, well, not a full career change, but a job change, you know, right before the quarantine. So the last 2 years for me has been just very much focused and trying to make it all happen. So to kind of like finally be able to come up for air and like have this experience, it was very, very refreshing. It was very, very like just re-energizing for me. And like some of the projects that we're working on that I feel like before we went, you know, I was kind of struggling with some of the projects that we working on. It's not because of the project themselves, but it's just like Afrika said, I think I was just kind of burning out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know, quarantine fatigue is for real, you know? And so I was just kind of burning out a little bit. And so being able to like have those experiences and being around people who are like just as excited about podcasting and storytelling and connecting and collaborating and like, you know, how can I help you and how can we help each other, and, you know, like learning about all of the different things and meeting all of the different people, like just to be fully immersed in something that I love for, you know, like 4 days, 5 days. It was very, very inspiring. And so shit, I came back, I feel like a new woman, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been working on like kind of going back to our projects that we're working on for Vanguard, with like fresh eyes, you know, and like the work is, I feel like the work is moving a little faster for me now. I feel like it was dragging before, you know, and it's moving faster now. I kind of just got my spirit re-energized. So, you know, that's always great.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and for me, I'm kind of like a freak. You know, I'm a stoic, so I don't really show a lot of it. You know, I'm like, no, I am excited. I'm like, well, tell your face that. But I was excited to be there. It was definitely great in so many ways. But you know, the conference, this 2-day conference, is just not easy on no stretch of the imagination. And so I was starting to feel that, you know, we're getting closer. 3-4 months out, and I'm just like, you know, I'm over this shit, but I'm here, you know. So going there, and like you said, for folks to say Afros and Audio, I came here to Podcast Movement because Afros and Audio was here. You know, wanting to meet and stuff like that, and I'm a person who I don't live for validation or anything like that, because I'm a move regardless. But to receive the love that I feel like I'm putting out in the world, you know, to receive back the honesty and the integrity and the genuineness that I feel like I'm putting out every day, it was really good. It just felt good, and it definitely, I felt re-energized, you know, from going there, and to stay committed, which I hadn't really lost any commitment to what we're building here. But again, some days it's truly not easy at all, and so just being around folks that were like, no, we're here for it. Like Quincy Q Lewis is one of those guys. He's just like, bro, you know, he supports, and he's like telling me that everything is good, everything is right with the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's important to hear, especially when I'm just in here, you know, like that monkey meme y'all see, you know, working all day, trying to keep the dream alive. So I feel very energized from it, and I'm grateful for that. So it's great. It's the great Walt. I'm sorry, I keep saying Wait, but it's Walt. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's
Walt.
That's
okay.
Yeah, what's up, Walt?
What's one thing y'all learned at the event that you'd like to see us all learning? Well, for me, it was, I want y'all to know about everything that was in that trade show because it's important. So one of the things that we were really pushing for, more than sponsorships, because I'm very intentional, just like Latrice said, with when we're talking to folks, whether it's the president of a company or CEO or whatever, that it's one thing to support Afros and Audio. Yeah, I love it. Talking about Latrice and the microphone. We'll get to that. Thanks, Al, for pointing that out. But if it's not,
I brought it out for you, Al. That's for you, because I knew you was on here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So if it doesn't benefit the community, then I really don't understand what we're talking about. Because money comes, money goes. So that the fact that I'm able to put some money into Afros and Audio 1 year, but then the community doesn't have anything year-round tools and resources to use, then really what's the point? So so with that said, really being intentional about bringing people in as exhibitors for this year at the festival, so you guys can see what we saw in that trade show. And everybody ain't gonna be there, but we're gonna keep pushing for that, because, you know, just all the stuff, the technology, the trends, and all of that is super important for us to be aware of, because when we aren't, we burn out real quick, and we find ourselves trying to do more than what's in our wheelhouse to do, because we don't know about the different things that are available to us to really keep this dream alive. So so before we get to y'all winning stuff, because y'all some lucky mofos, but you know, definitely want to shout out again Twyla Dang, you know, because, you know, super dope, and what she's creating, what she's building, not only for women of color, but for the podcast industry. She's changing the face of it, and changing the game because of her work. So definitely want to shout out Twyla Dang. PodPal, Black-owned business that is basically project management for podcasters, like an actual tool and an app for you to use while you're doing your podcast, to keep you on task, to keep all your teams aligned and all that kind of stuff. That was super dope.
Twyla's company is Matriarch Media.
Yeah, thank you.
And the CEO of the founder and CEO of PodPal is Aaron Wood.
So if one of you guys can just type both of those in. But yeah, Podcast Town, that was super dope. They were also Black owned, and I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody, but it was just great to be around these type of folks, and we definitely want to bring them. So that's what I want y'all to learn is what's available. Those tools and those resources are actually out there, that we all have access to and we get to use to really sustain ourselves as podcasters. So anything else from y'all that you learned that you really want the community to be aware of?
I think for me, what I learned is we need to be in these spaces. Like, one of the biggest takeaways for me, because everyone keeps asking, like, what did you really learn? And I was like, most of the podcasters I know, especially Black podcasters, we're already ahead of the curve on a lot of the stuff that they were already talking about. So we need to be in these spaces showing them, we already know this. We're bringing something to y'all, and you all need to be paying attention to what we're doing. So that going back to our topic, like we've already created our table. We're showing you what we've created, and you need to be learning from us as well, and not just having the same status quo people on these stages here.
Absolutely, yeah. We definitely need to be in that space all the time in every way, and so that's one of the things we talked about. And I'll let the others. Latrice and Blake, you guys respond too, but it's not just building our own table. That's imperative, but also taking up space at the tables that already exist, because we get to. And by not being there, then, they'll say, as Audre Lorde said, your silence won't protect you, right? And so you don't say anything and they'll think you love it. We love what we've been provided, right? And so being able to be there in that space and show up and say, no, we exist. We exist for ourselves. We exist for each other. But we also exist, and we take up enough space that we're not going to be denied. Period. And we're gonna demand what we came here for, and get what we came here for. And so I think that's super important. Definitely, Afrika. Anybody else?
And I think to kind of expand on that, I think that there's also this idea of valuing what we bring to the table. And I think that was a huge lesson for me, like, especially as we are building and growing this community and business, and really trying to make our mark on this industry, or leave our mark on this industry in a meaningful and profound way. We are significantly valuing what it is that we bring to the table, and like going to some of those sessions or even just having conversations with people, and they saying, oh, they just have a small budget. It's only, 20,000. And I'm like, 20,000, low.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? It's I think, and not so much of like undervaluing because we don't see value. Look, I'm talking in the mic and it's not even plugged up.
You would have never known.
And then you plugged up. I'm starting. I don't think it's like, I know we're not undervaluing ourselves because we don't think that we are valuable. We're undervaluing ourselves because we don't know what the industry standard is. because we're not negotiating these major deals. We're not being offered these major deals or being in a room where these deals are being discussed. And so it's that knowledge gap, you know, where we just don't know what the industry standard is. And so going to like being in this space and not having to rely on the oppressor to inform me, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to talk to other Black people who have cracked the code, who have figured out how to get the funding, who have figured out, you know, how to, as they say, secure the bag or whatever you want to call it, like knowing, like being able to have conversations with these individuals, other Black people who say, oh no, I'm gonna help y'all get that money. Give me a call and I'm gonna tell y'all what to put on that proposal. I'm gonna tell you what needs to go in there so that you can make sure that you are getting what you need to be able to do this at the level that you want and need to be able to do this, you know? And so I think that was the thing that stood out to me, you know, the most. Like that was, I think that one of the biggest takeaways for me is, you know, knowing that there's that information gap, but seeing it as you're learning about the piece of the gap that you're sitting in, you know what I'm saying? Like it was an interesting experience. To say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake, what about you?
Something I wish that everybody could have learned is just similar to like what Latrice was just saying, just knowing that this is possible, knowing that your creativity has value, regardless of what anybody says or what check or sponsorship you already have, you know. Like my podcast, you know, I think in the grand scheme of things, when I see people, their podcasts are doing 20, 30,000 downloads a month. Mine is just now hitting 20,000 downloads in totality, but knowing that has value, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that what you create, what you produce, what you put out into this world is really going to have real world monetary value. Because I think a lot of us, of course, some of us come in here with a bigger mission, you know, raising awareness about different things, but I think a lot of us come into this space to monetize as well. And it's important for us to see us and know that it's possible in different spaces. And this is one of those spaces that I was able to see other Black podcast business owners, and they've been successful and talk about their little small budgets of $20,000. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's really money in this. So just to see that it's real and know that this isn't just something you just creating and uploading online. This can really manifest to be some real world shit, and it's dope.
Word up. And what's up? I'm gonna say the 5100 podcast or the FYE, whichever one it is.
That's Tez now. What's up, Tez?
Yeah. They from Memphis.
Some country boys.
What's happening?
Yeah. So it's good to see y'all. So back to y'all being some lucky mofos. Latrice, what did you win? And then Afrika, what did you win? I won y'all. That's what I won.
Afrika won before I did. You know, Afrika won before I did. But we went to, shout out to PodPal. We gave them a shout out earlier, but shout out to PodPal. PodPal hosted the, look, I'm still talking into this microphone, y'all. I think it's just habit. You know what I'm saying? Put me in front of the microphone, I'm talking to the microphone.
Word.
PodPal hosted the Podcasters of Color networking event on Thursday night. Y'all know my birthday was on Friday. If you don't know, now you know. It's not too late. You can still tell me happy birthday in the comments. Because I am a Leo after all. You know what I'm saying? So they had a raffle. And the raffle, they was giving away a bunch of different stuff. But the grand prize was a brand new podcast studio. And long story short, I ended up with 5 tickets because generosity and things.
Yes.
And then they called my number. And so I won this brand new microphone. This is a Rode Pod mic. It has a built-in pop filter, which I love. And you know what's my favorite part about this microphone? I ain't gonna lie, because I haven't even heard the sound yet. I ain't gonna lie. I hadn't even heard the sound yet. Look how pretty it is. This is a pretty ass microphone.
It is pretty. I ain't gonna hold you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just looks pretty. It's cute, you know?
Yes.
And I'm cute. So it works. And then I also got this Focusrite Scarlett Solo audio interface. And it's like perfect because I am a solo podcaster. I usually do my recordings by myself. And then they also gave me a set of headphones and a 1-year subscription to PodPal. So I'm gonna test out the platform, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know how that is. I'm super excited about using it and things like that. And this little prize package just was the cherry on top. I was already having a great experience, and this was just the icing on the cake.
Word. All right, Afrika, what did you do?
I don't even have my Whitney. It's still packed away because everyone was trying to steal it from me. But then I was like, I never win anything. I know I was in the room with Latrice and I just started screaming. I was like, they looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, I just won a microphone. So,
Nice.
So what Talib was saying, you know, they had all these different booths of different companies there. So I was checking out Electro Voice and just looking at different microphones. And I was about to purchase one. And they were like, well, we actually aren't selling these today, but we're giving away a few. So they were like, just sign up. And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, just do it. You know, if you win today, you know, we'll reach out to you and you can pick it up or we'll mail it to you. And then I went back to the room, I was taking a little nap in between because we were ripping and running all day. And then I got a message in the app like, you won. And I was like, I won. I was like, I don't win anything. So I'm excited. I'm excited to test it out. Everyone is like, you're going to have that.
She was like, oh, I won.
Radio voice. They were like, you're going to have that smooth radio voice. And I do for the most part, a solo monologue / interview style podcast, but I think it's going to be the perfect mic. I'll let you guys know when I open it. Maybe I'll do like one of those IG reveals.
Yeah, dope.
Check the video, do a little. Maybe we should do a review, Latrice.
Yeah, we're gonna
both
do
of our equipment.
I already unboxed mine, but we could do a little review IG or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, nice. Well, I did win. I forgot. I did win the Blueberry grand prize entry. So
You won?
No. I won the entry into the grand prize. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. You know, we'll see how that shakes out. You know what I mean?
When are you gonna announce the winner?
I don't know. You know, I don't pay attention. I just be setting it and forgetting it. So we'll see. Hopefully they reach out to me if I do win.
It's been coming up roses for Afros Audio. So and I just want to say shout out to Al. Because Al's ticket is the ticket that I won my grand prize.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to Al for making my birthday awesome. Even though he was hating on the fact that I had so many tickets, he was like, well, I guess I'll give you this ticket too.
Well, I felt like I was a lucky charm. So now it was Al.
Listen, it
was a collective effort.
Right.
I'm just glad it was somebody. Yeah. That's all. I'm just glad it was luck in the building.
Word up. Well, you know, as I said, it was such a pleasure to be with y'all, and I feel like, you know, we keep taking this show on the road, and we'll be going places, you know. So so I enjoyed you, you know, and I'm grateful. When it comes to this final question, I think we will be remiss not to talk about the table, right? And why building a table is worth the labor, indeed. You know, I can say for myself, it's y'all. You know, again, this is community. I met every last one of you because of Afros and Audio. I didn't know you prior. And so to be able to bring folks together from our community, to share space, to be on stages, whether it's Afros and Audio or otherwise, but to also just genuinely build together. Like, that's what's happening here in real time. I put out a newsletter this week, community and collaboration in real life, you know. because that's the opportunity that comes with you building your own table. I know what my table's made up. I know who I've invited to sit down with me. I know who I told to go over there and sit at that other table. Seats taken. I know all of that because I'm building a table here, and I'm building a table that I'm proud of and that other tables can be built on. And so for me, that's the biggest gift of saying, okay, I know that I might not know how this table is supposed to be, and it might be wobbly every once in a while, but I know that there's something there that can fix that, right? And that the tools and all of that to create our own tables, they're there. We don't have to go nowhere else to find everything we need in order to build our visions and what we're intending to create. And so so this is the Afros and Audio table, but I'll let you guys go with why, and building the table is so important for you. And now, like, why we in it to win it. We ain't playing to lose. We ain't playing to get by. We playing to win. So Afrika, tell people about, the table that you've already built and what this means for you going forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, just piggybacking off of what you're saying, if I didn't have the studio, I wouldn't have met you. I think a mutual friend of ours was using the space, and that's how we ended up being connected. But also, I think the importance of having and creating your own table is seeing the fruits of your own labor. Yeah. We tend to work for other people, and those people reap the benefits. So being able to be in a space and be invited, like I said, I'm honored that you felt that I was important enough to be invited to share the stage with you all. And that's a fruit of labor and something that I can add to my table and build off of the table that you all are already building as well. Mm-hmm. And, utilize that fruit to pass it along and share with others. I think, the name Breakbred itself, that's where that comes from. I wanted to create a community where we could all share in each other's growth. So I'm looking forward to expand upon that.
Absolutely. Blake, what's up, man?
Man, for me, I started podcasting out of the need to just be healthy. Mm-hmm. I was in a very dark space when I started my podcast. And when I discovered this idea of a podcast community and being around other Black creatives is around the time that we met. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I attended the Afros and Audio Festival last year and I spoke there, and just everything that went on from preparing for that to meeting everybody, to the people I'm still connected to through Afros and Audio. It was like, this is something that I definitely am going to continue to be a part of. But it also let me know that, what I'm trying to do is a little different, and I can continue to do that too. Mm-hmm. So I'm super grateful for, similar to like what Afrika said, that you even thought of me. I'm like, you really think that I can hold my own on this stage? The fact that you see that in me, I know I can do it, but the fact that you invited me was just I feel honored, and it helps me to understand the value of my creativity. It helps me to understand that I am of value in this space, in this community, at the Afros and Audio table. I've been invited. I love it. I appreciate it. I'm committed to helping this grow while, growing the Black Podcast Club, and, even helping other podcasters build off of what we've been able to do and the connections that we have. And it is really dope to now truly be in a space of like-minded individuals that are just dope and doing great things, and to share space together and to know we're building collectively as well is something that I've always been about, especially when I created the Black Podcast Club. And it's just dope to see it in person, in the flesh, to see y'all, touch y'all, break bread with y'all, sit down, have a meal with y'all. And these are the kind of experiences I want to continue to have with more and more Black podcasters and creators. And so that's why I'm just super thankful for this opportunity. I feel honored and blessed, and y'all know me, it was one hell of a journey, but I'm happy for the experience, man. It was super dope.
Yeah, word up. Latrice?
Well, in the immortal words of one Miss Issa Rae, I'm rooting for everybody Black. And at the end of the day, it's an honor to me to be a part of this community and seeing all of these Black faces and, you know, supporting all of these Black faces, and like just getting to do something that I love and getting to do something that I believe in, and like having those two things like be the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really, really awesome and really cool to me. And so, you know, I'm grateful for this table. I'm honored to have an opportunity to help build this table, and to, you know, invite people to this table, or let people know that the table is open, you know, and whoever want to sit down can come on and sit down. But when you sit your ass down, you got to be ready to participate. You know, you got to, you know, pass the peas and things. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just sit. You got to come to the table ready to engage in the table, in whatever way that looks like for you. You know, everybody's engagement not going to be on the same level because everybody don't have the same set of skills. And that's fine. But even if it's just, you know, listening to somebody's show, even if it's just, you know, showing up for the event, telling somebody about it, reposting it on your socials, sending, you know, your friend that says she was thinking about starting a podcast, a text message and saying, girl, these people got something going on. I think you need to go to that. Like whatever your way of contributing to the table looks like, you got to come prepared to do that. And that's how the table continues to grow. And we all get to, because even if you're not creating the content, if you're just consuming the content, the more that we build the table, the better that content gets, the more opportunities those content creators have to see what the next level is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to take my shit to the next level, and I'm finally starting to see what the next level looks like. And I'm very, very confident that I can handle that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And I, you know, we get to show, and I say get all the time because, you know, I'm of this belief that we don't have to do nothing. We don't need to do shit. It ain't no supposed to be's in this world. We get to experience this life the way we want to experience this. We get to be in the spaces that we want to be in. And we get to show up, you know, for each other, for ourselves. Because a lot of times, even in with Afros and Audio, I'm like, why aren't folks showing up? And when I really realized, you know, in the first year and the second year, is that a lot of people aren't showing up for themselves, let alone me, right? And so show up, you know, show up for yourself first, and then see where you can go, because we only know how far we go if we willing to go that far, right? And so just keep showing up, y'all, and we appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all for coming with me, coming with yourself to Podcast Movement, sharing the stage, taking up space, and for being here tonight, because you don't have to do this either. So I respect y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll let you guys have your last parting words. Definitely where they can find you, where they can come to the studio, where they can find you on social media, and then, you know, we'll be out.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Latrice Sampson Richards. You know, make sure you follow me or whatever. And then pretty much anything Afros and Audio do, I'm gonna be there. So you can find me there. We are accepting speaker submissions. So if you would like to pour into our community by educating our community or introducing a conversation to our community, we would love for that. Just head over to afrosandaudio.com/submissions, and you can submit to be a speaker for the conference. If you are looking to attend the conference, then you can head over to afrosandaudio.com and you can purchase your tickets. I think, Talib, don't you have a little discount code?
I'm putting it in right now.
Talib is putting a little discount code for y'all in the comments there. You know you coming, so you may as well go ahead and use that discount code while you got it right now. You know you're not gonna miss that thing. And then, you know, we working on bringing y'all more things. We have a lot of opportunities that are coming down the pike from a production standpoint, but then also from a community building standpoint. So, you know, y'all just be on the lookout for those things as well.
Absolutely. Afrika?
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram at Breakbred Studio. Bread does not have an A, it's BRED. You can also find us if you want to come in person in Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And our website is breakbred.studio if you want to book a session, have a consultation, or just come and tour and check out the space.
You gonna hook up the new microphone, or that's for personal use?
No, that's for me. I'm covered in.
Nice. All right, Blake.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me in the social media world, Diary of a Mad Black Man. I'm really most active on Instagram. I actually deleted my Twitter, so just follow me on Instagram, Diary of a Mad Black Man. You guys go to diaryofamadblackman.com. My website has links to all my podcasts, any platform you want to listen to it on. And also join the club if you're thinking about starting a podcast. If you want to know more ideas on what direction to take your podcast, if you have questions with podcasting, follow the club, the Black Podcast Club, on all social platforms. We actually have happy hour each and every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I definitely got to have y'all there. I got to start. One of the things I'm actually going to do is start inviting guests to the happy hour and just building that happy hour, building that club-like atmosphere up. So again, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Clubhouse. You can also follow the club. We have a club on Clubhouse. So just looking to build that up, make it bigger and better. You can also go to the blackpodcastclub.com, schedule a meeting with me to learn more about what we do behind the scenes, how we help and build each other up. I'm also preparing to start doing weekly therapy, mastermind podcast classes, just to help everybody stay on board, have some accountability, and just really growing this thing for all of us together. So, yeah, I mean, I'm out here in these podcast streets, so definitely just find me. I'm out here.
All right, word. Mr. Al asked you, I'm calling Mr. Al like he's my teacher. Mr. Al asked you what the Mad Black Man website is.
It's diaryofamadblackman.com.
Yeah, cool. Well, you know, like I said, we definitely appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, the three of you, but I appreciate all of y'all that stuck in here with us and share space with us as we gave y'all our podcast movement recap. And, you know, we'll see y'all again. And thank you so much. And until, I love it when Latrice says it.
I got you. Thank y'all so much for, sticking with us. We love y'all and we appreciate y'all. And until next time, be well. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Peace out.